Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I'm super close, but I just want to get right into the video. I am doing a video to try to help people with hooded eyes. I know I don't have the most hooded eyes, I have a lot of eyelid space, but I did have this video requested, so I wanted to go ahead and give it to you guys and try to give you as many tips as I can, even if I don't necessarily super struggle with the hooded eye thing. So hopefully something in this video helps, and yeah, let's get into it. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids. I did write down, so if you see me looking down or reading something, that's what I'm doing. I just wanted to make sure that I covered everything since I don't have maybe like the most hooded eyes to show you. I just want to make sure that I can explain it all to you. And I apologize if you hear extra noises. My dogs are roaming. I'm sorry. Okay, so first things first, you always want to go in with a primer that's going to help with the creasing. I have pretty bad creasing. I'm sure you can see it there. And my favorite primer is that Kat Von D Prime and Correct. But you guys, it is discontinued. I think you can still get it on eBay. I will check if you can. I'll link it down below. But also, a lot of concealers work. If you think about it, you have like creases and things down at the bottom. It's the same thing on your eyelid. So you can go in with any primer that's gonna go ahead and conceal and kind of like help out those lines. And you just want to make sure that when you're putting it on, you're blending it really nicely and kind of having like a nice thin layer of primer or concealer, again, depending on what you're using. So I'm not afraid to go in there with my fingers if I need to really press it in. Of course, carefully, it's your eye, but really press it in. And then I like to do one eye at a time most of the time. So then I go in and I set that primer or concealer or whatever you're using. You just want to make sure that you're setting it with enough powder to make sure that, again, it's not going to crease on you or it's not going to get oily. Oh my god, Cannoli's going crazy. I'm sorry. She has a water bottle. Okay, so now that we have that nice and set, let's talk brushes. So in my opinion, some of the best brushes that will help like control but still blend, that will be most beneficial for people with hooded eyes, are brushes like the Real Techniques brushes. This one you can get online. I believe you can get it at Ulta. I'm not sure if you can get it at Sephora, but you could just pick it up at your local Walgreens or CVS. If you can see here, you can see that it's fluffy, but it is a lot more controlled, let's say, as opposed to something like this. Something like this is a lot more fluffy. You can see right there that it would just disperse a lot. And the reason that I say something like this works better is because most people with hooded eyes have a lot smaller eyes. Like, there's just not that much space and stuff like that. So something like this will work best. There's also brushes like this. It's still, again, fluffy, and you're going to be able to do some blending, but it is a lot more controlled and compact. This one is from Alamar Cosmetics. I believe this is volume 2. This one comes with 2 other brushes, but that's another perfect example. So as far as the eyeshadows that I'm using today, I am going to use my Tati Beauty palette, but the palette itself doesn't even matter. I just wanted you to know which one I'm using because I am going to stick to more neutral colors because, again, most people aren't going out in super black, smoky-eyed looks. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in with my transition shades. I'm going to keep it, again, pretty light. I'm probably just going to focus on this eye to show you guys. But basically what you want to do is, number one, to apply your eyeshadow, at least something that works for me. Again, with my hood here, I don't have like that flat surface. But I guess it's beneficial like when I'm filming because my mirror's right here, so it is kind of lower, so I can kind of like look down. But you want to make sure that with your hooded eyes, you're not having your eye all the way open, but Also, having it closed is not going to necessarily help you out with knowing where your transition is. So you kind of want to have that like half open, half closed, and you're going to want to go in here and start your transition from the corner, working your way in. You're going to want to keep most eyeshadows here lighter to dark. That'll even be helpful if you're going to go in with something like super bright. Again, you're going to want to keep most of the depth over here and then keep this nice and light, and so it'll help your eye be more wide and open. So going in here, you're going to want to basically create a crease. So you're going to want to bring this little crease, you're going to want to bring it up just a little bit higher. Again, because when you open your eye, you're going to want to be able to see the shadows going on in here. And I'm sorry, you guys, if I like speed up a little bit, and if I repeat myself a couple times, it's because I feel like I'm going fast. Sometimes I can't slow it down. So again, going in here with the transition, you just want to make sure that you're going in lightly and that you're bringing it in super carefully, and again, keeping it light on the inner corner. So the reason that you want to kind of move your crease up a little higher is because if you put that directly in here and then when you look up, there's not going to be much there, and you're not going to get that gradient look to the eyeshadow look. Another thing that's super important is to make sure that your shadows are kind of giving you that lifted appearance. So when you come right here, let's say you're going to add your transition all the way from here this way, you're going to want to make sure that you're kind of like, you don't have to super wing out the eye look, but it's helpful. You can get the tape, you can stick it in the back of your hand, peel it off a couple times, put it on here so it gives you again that winged out look, and that'll help you so you don't start rounding it out or maybe start drooping it a little bit. So you just want to make sure that you're kind of blending in that V formation a little bit. Now, if you're too scared to like accidentally make the inner part of the eye darker, you can also bring in a clean brush and just use that to help you slowly fluff out the color this way. And you just want to look at your eye from different angles. Again, like right here, you want to open it. Just make sure that you're creating the crease that best suits your eye. Again, I have a lot of lid space, but some of you don't. So again, going in with a small brush is going to help all of that. So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker color. I'm going to go into the brown color. And then again, you're going to want to start closest to down here, the outer corner, but you're still going to want to V out the shape of that. The reason that you want to have your eyeshadow lifting your eye up is because you don't want it to make your lid heavier than it probably already looks. So again, lifting, keeping that darkness on the outside, leaving it nice and light is going to all help with that. Now, going into like a shimmer shadow, the truth is for a shimmer shadow, the best option is probably something that's more of a cream base, but nobody is probably out there buying a bunch of cream shadows. Something like the Stila glitter, something like that, something that you can apply, let it dry, is probably going to work best for hooded eyes because you'll get transferring. Again, my eyes aren't the most hooded, but I still get a lot of transferring. So a tip that can help is simply to take either a cream eyeshadow or a little bit more of your concealer or primer, whatever it is that you're using. Tap it on. Again, you don't have to do like a full-on cut crease, just something that's going to hold on most of your pigment and that it's not going to smudge that much. Now, if I really didn't want any transferring at all for my personal eyelid, I would have to cut the crease pretty far up or use something like a Stila glitter where again it's wet at first, you let it dry, and then it stays put after that. But again, that is a $22 item and I understand that not everybody can. So reapplying your primer to give you again that little sticky layer is really going to help. And then I'm just going to go in with some bright shimmer shades. When you're packing on, you want to kind of like push into your eye just a little bit. You don't want it to be super... Fluffing it out is probably not the best option for hooded eyes, is what I'm trying to say, which with the shimmer shadow you don't really want to do anyway. So moving on to other things that matter about how you're applying your shadow, your brow bone highlight. You need to place your brow bone highlight, and personally I think this is for everybody no matter your eye shape. It's better to apply your brow bone highlight right here at like the highest point, and then you just want to be like super careful. Okay, I'm gonna go in just with the matte color, and again, to me this doesn't matter if you're going matte or shimmery or whatever it is that you're gonna use. It's better to keep it here. So you can totally use your brush to blend it out. I just find that with my finger it kind of like controls that a little bit more, but it's better to have just like a little pop of eyeshadow rather than too much white, because again, especially if it's a shimmer shadow, it's gonna weigh down your eyelid right here. So keeping it nice and controlled is the best way to go. And you can always just go back in with your brush if you need to, if you felt like, ooh, maybe I overdid that, and just give it a quick little blend and you're good to go. Now another little tip is to take your inner corner highlight, and that'll really make you look nice and bright. You can take it up as high as you'd like, keep it more controlled if you'd like, but that is pretty much your main focus with hooded eyes for most people. Again, it's makeup, do whatever you like, but keeping it nice and bright over here is going to just make it look nice and wide and open. I think that a lot of these tips are really for everybody, but again, it's makeup. We all break the rules and we all do things. Do whatever best fits your eye. But that is the tips that I have specifically for eyeshadow. So guys, some other little tips that I have for you that aren't eyeshadow related is for your brows. I only do my brow gel, that's why I didn't do it right here with you guys. But for those of you that draw on your brows, or even if you are just applying brow gel, this pertains to you too. You want to make sure that you're nice and careful, because if you add too much here, you're going to really like drag down your eye a little bit more. And again, it's going to add like a heavy look, even like a puffy look. So just make sure that when you're applying your brow gel or drawing on your eyebrows, I almost said eyelids, or drawing on your eyebrows, that you're keeping it nice and conformed to your shape, but also not super elongated and heavy ultimately. Also, another little tip, it's better to have an eyeliner like this with a felt tip. That's going to help you be able to control your eyeliner, and you'll be able to, again, most people with hooded eyes have, you know, not a bunch of space right here on the lid. So if you are applying eyeliner, you're going to want something like this that you're going to be able to draw a nice thin line, whether it's white, black, colorful eyeliner, it doesn't matter. You're going to want to keep it, a felt tip liner will help best. Again, there's a million different ones. That one is, the black one is from Colourpop. I will link it down below. But just so you can see, this one is the felt pen. This is probably the thinnest you can go with a liquid liner, and if you're not careful, it's going to end up too thick. And my last tip, you guys, has to do with lashes. You guys know that I don't wear fake lashes, but if you do wear fake lashes and you have hooded eyes, you're going to want something more like this, where it's shorter on the inner corner and shorter on the outer corner, and then nice and fluffy right in the middle. What that's going to do is just help open up your eyes a lot more. I know that some of the lashes look super cute, like really black and fluffy, but if you have a lash that's too heavy on the outer corner, that's going to drag down your eye right here, and you don't want that to happen. Again, you're trying to keep everything nice and lifted and going up, and then having more of that flirty lash right in the middle is going to just make it look more of a pop, more of an open look. Okay guys, so I think that's everything. I just want to remind you again, it's makeup, have fun with it, practice on your eye different ways to apply your shadow, and you'll find that like perfect way or those perfect little things that you do that will help you out. So before you go, I just want to remind you to please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. Please don't forget to share my videos with your friends and family. My videos are here for whenever you guys want to come and watch them. So I'll see you guys in my next one. Adios! I just went, didn't I? That was weird. Okay guys, bye!